Hi everyone, welcome back to the class. Systems range from simple to complex, right? So there are simple systems, also there are complex systems, right? There are some systems which can be understandable very easy, and there are some complex systems also. So four types of system ranges are there, like biological systems. For an example, the heart, it is the biological system. Mechanical system, the thermostat, the human or mechanical system. So here, riding a bicycle, so there is a mechanical system or there is a human system also. Both are. Riding a bicycle mean a bicycle doesn't ride itself, no, someone should ride the bicycle, so there is a human or mechanical system. Next one, social systems, groups, supply and demand or friendship. So these are social systems, right? Every system contains a model. There is a model for every system. The model is made up of three major components called input, process and output. IPO model. This is called as IPO model. What is IPO model? Now I told you every system contains a model. In biological system, mechanical system, human or mechanical system, social systems, in each and every of these systems, it contains of three major components, right? There is a model. So what is the model? It is the IPO model. IPO model mean what? Input, process, output model. Understood? So information system, right? We'll learn about the information system. What is an information system? An information system can be defined technically as a set of interrelated components that collect, process, store, and distribute information to support decision making in an organization. Information system mean it is a system, right? System mean, what is the meaning of system? System means a collection of components. A collection of components is called a system, right? Now for an example, I will tell you a robo. Okay, so a full set robo is a system, right? If you part them, if you part these components, now for an example, now see here, will you? This is a system, a machine is a system, right? So if it is not set together, now these are components, okay? The hand is a component, eyes are the components, the head is a component, the body is the component, and this wheel is a component. So if we part these components, okay, if we part these components, then it is not a system. It doesn't work as a system. Understood what is a system? So a system is a collection of components. It should be a collection of components. Now when I fit these components together, it is a system. Now this system, this system, there is a model for this system. It is called IPO model. IPO model mean what? It inputs thing, process thing, and outputs the thing. Another example for the system is a ATM machine. You know ATM, right? You go to the ATM, what do? You input the card to the ATM, right? So the ATM inputs the card, okay, and then you input the the password of the card, right? So it process inside the ATM, it process things, right? So you enter the amount. If you want to withdraw money, you enter the amount to the system, and then the system what does? It process inside and gives you the output, the money. So that is a system. If you part this system, can we call it as a system? We can't. As it is explained here, a system, an information system. Information system mean which inputs the data, process the data, and gives the processed data as an information is an information system, right? It gives information. That's why it is called as information system. Now the computer is an information system, right? So an information system can be defined technically as a set of interrelated components that it collects, right? It collects, process, store, and distribute information to support decision making in an organization. So there are 6 elements of an information system. If we take an information system, there are 6 elements of the information system. The first element is the hardware. So let's just go through with the elements: hardware, software, procedures, people, data, communication. These are the 6 elements of an information system, right? So the hardware of an information system. What is the hardware of what is a hardware actually? Hardware means it can be touchable and it can be seen by eyes. Those are hardwares, right? We can touch them. That's why it is called as hardware. Okay, that's why it's called as hardware. So whatever the physical devices, the outer appearance, it is physical, we can touch and see them. So the physical devices of any information system is a hardware used to process data to create information. So these hardware, we use them for what? To process the data to create information. Now why you are using a computer? It is a hardware, no? So we are using a computer, it is a hardware. We use it to process the data to create information. Understood? Next one, controlled by software. So this hardware, there should be a software, no, to control it. So this hardware is controlled by whom? By the software. Next one is the software. Software is the computer programs, which is the backbone of the hardware. Without it, hardware would not have much use. So what is a software? Software is an application, or we say software is a set of instruction. Software is a set of instruction which we use to process data. Now for an example, we'll say you want to write a document. If you want to write a document, there should be a software in your computer, isn't it? Then only you can make a document. Then only you can make a valuable information, right? So without a software, you can't make the thing which you want. Understood? So that's why it is called as the backbone of the software, the backbone of the hardware, because without this software, the hardware is nothing. At times software is equal, right? Software is a must. It is compulsory, right? Now you know what is a software. So next one, gives instructions to the hardware to tell it how to function. So there are a lot of kinds of softwares, right? There are application softwares, there are system softwares, and there are a lot of kinds of softwares. So each software acts as the work given to it, right? So whatever the instructions it gives to the hardware, then tells to the hardware how to function the software. Understood? So that is a software. Gives instructions to the hardware to tell how to function. Next one, procedures. What is a procedure? A procedure provides the people with rules, guidelines, instructions, and descriptions to users to follow. What is a procedure? Procedure means rules, a set of rules. When you are using something, there are rules to use it. There are guidelines to use it, or there are instructions to use it, or there are descriptions to use it. Now for an example, if you are using a computer, there are guidelines. They are giving you guidelines how to use this computer. If you are using a telephone or a smartphone, there are guidelines to use the smartphones. Understood? So the guidelines, the instruction, the description, the rules, okay, to use, given to the users to follow are the procedures. Now understood what is a procedure. Next one, people. You know the people, right? The important part of any information system, the end user. There are system users and there are end users. Okay? End users are the people who use the software. Understood? And system users, okay, system users are the users who make the software, like the software engineers. They are the one who makes you the software, right? After making the software, there are people who use the software. So the people who use the software are the end user. Now understood who are the end users? Now we are talking about the information system. Next one, data. Data, what are data? You know already, I told you what are data, okay? The core part of any information system. It is the most important part of the information system are the data. As hardware cannot work without software, software cannot work without data. Okay, there are softwares, but if there are no data, the softwares won't work. So if you want your software to be worked, then there should be data. Next one, communication. Communication with people or other pieces of hardware. The internet is widely used to communicate with other people and computers. So communication, you know what is communication. Communication means the interaction. We are interacting with people, right? We are interacting with the hardware. So that is the communication. So these 6 parts or these 6 elements should be there to call an information system as an information system. If one of these elements are missed, then we can't call it as an information system. Now think, will you? Information, if we should call it as an information system, hardware should be there, because hardware are the physical devices of the information system, and these hardware which process the data to create the information, and also it is controlled by the software. So hardware should be there. If we have the hardware, okay, we have the computer or we have the hardware, but we don't have a software, can we work with this hardware? Can't. Okay, so there should be software. If you have a computer, there should be softwares to the computer. Why? Because these softwares are called as the backbone of the hardware, and without the hardware, without it, hardware wouldn't have much use from that. And also it gives the instructions to the hardware to tell it how to function, right? Next one, procedures should be there. When you are using a software, there are guidelines, there are rules, there are instructions, there are descriptions. So all these things should be there to use the software. So all these procedures are provided to the people. These procedures are provided to whom? To the people. Next one, people should be there now. Now you are having a hardware. Now for an example, there is an ATM machine. Okay, automated teller machine. There is an automated teller machine, ATM. And it has a software inside. Okay, every software, every hardware, there are softwares. Okay, but no people. Will the hardware work? No use of that, right? So if there is a hardware, if there is a software, and if there are procedures, then there should be people. Then only the information system will work. Is the people only enough? to work with these hardware, software and the procedures? No, we should have data also, because we are using this data to process them and to convert them to information. If we don't have data, can we work with the hardware? Can't, because we are inputting the data. Understood? Now for an example, the ATM, right? We will take the ATM again. So the ATM, when you go to the ATM, there should be a data, right? I am a human, I am people. There is a hardware. Inside the hardware, there is a software and there are procedures. Okay, so 4 of them are there: hardware, software, procedures, people. But no data. What is the data here? The ATM card. ATM card is a data. Now for an example, if you take the ATM card, if you have seen the ATM card, can you see something in this ATM card, or can you understand something with the ATM card? Can you just by looking at the ATM card, can you understand how much of money is there in your account? Okay, or how much of balance are there in your account? How much you have taken from the account? You can't see all these things by looking only at the ATM card, isn't it? So that's why we are calling the ATM card as a data. It is considered as a data. So this ATM card should be there with us. Then only we can put it inside the hardware and obtain the information and take the information. So if there is a hardware, there is a software, there are procedures, there are people, then there should be data also, right? Is it enough only these 5 things? No, there should be communication. There should be communication between the people, or with people, or other pieces of the hardware. Now understood what is an information system? Next one, the relationship between information technology, IT, and information system. Now, first of all, let's see what is an information technology and what is information system. Now you know what is an information system, right? And you know what is information technology, right? What is an information technology? Information technology is the study, design, implementation, support or management of computer-based information system. So what is an information technology? You know what is an information system, isn't it? What is an information system? An information system is the collection of components, isn't it? Collection of components which provides valuable information, or which process data, inputs data and process it and gives the valuable information, are called as information system. So it is a collection of components. What is an IT? What is information technology? Information technology is the study, design, implementation, support or management of computer-based information system. That is information technology. This information technology focuses on maintaining the system's hardware, software, databases, and networks with the end goal of communicating to users how the best utilizes its functionality. This allows users to think critically and innovatively, solve business problems through technology. So this information technology helps the users. Who are the users? The people. The people who uses the information system are the users, right? If you are using the computer, you are a user. Understood? So this IT is used by the users. Why they are using this information technology? To solve business problems through technology. Understood? IT, information technology, consists of 3 sub-disciplines. Right. So what are the 3 sub-disciplines? Communication technology, information management technology, three sub-disciplines. First one, computing technology. Computing technology is ubiquitous. Ubiquitous mean what? Everywhere. We can see it everywhere. If you go to the hospital, if you go to the schools, if you go to the bank, if you go to the shopping malls, everywhere they use this computing technology. Even in the houses, they are using this computing technology, right? So it is everywhere. In the form of computers, tablets, smartphones, the web, cloud computing, email, text messages, social media, and much more. So these computing technology are not only the devices. Not only the devices. It can be a computer, a laptop, a tablet, a smartphone, or even it can be the web. It can be the cloud computing, the emails, the text messages, the social media. So there are much more things connected to the computing technology, right? So everybody knows what is a computing technology. So that is the first, information technology. Second one, communication technology. What are communication technology? Communication technology means communicating, interacting with each other. Communications technology, also known as information technology. This communication technology, also called as information technology, refers to all equipment and programs that are used to process and communicate information. Whatever the program, okay, or whatever the equipment we use to process the data and to communicate the information are known as communication technology, right? As they are capable in sharing information to remote controlling of computer systems. So these communication technology happens with the use of computer systems. There should be computer system, no, to communicate the technology. So to communicate the technology, to exchange, communicating mean what? To exchange technology, right? From a place to another place, or to a person to another person, right? To person. So these are called communication. So to communicate this technology, there should be computer system. So these are controlled of computer system. Now you know what is computer technology. Computer technology are the devices, like the devices and whatever the thing which is connected with the technology, computing technology. Communication technology are the computer system. Communication technology are also called as information technology. So what it refers to, all the equipments and the programs that are used to process and communicate the information are called as communication technology. Next, third one, the third element or the third principle, okay, the third sub-principle is information management technology. This is what you should know much about the information management technology. Information management technology, right? Information technology management. We can call it as information technology management or information management technology. Includes many of the basic functions of management. There are many basic functions, okay, of management. You know what is management? No, managing things, such as staffing. Information management technology or information technology management means it manages every function which manages things. Manages what here? The staff. Organizing, staffing, organizing, budgeting, and control. But it also has functions that are unique to IT, such as software development, change management, network planning, and tech support. right? So information management technology mean you have information and you should manage them, right? For an example, now the staff is a information about the staff. So we should manage them, no? We should, the salary, we should manage them. The budget, we should manage them. We should control them. Understood? And then we have software development. That is also management. Change management and network planning, tech support, technology support. All these things are included in the information management system, right? Now we learned the sub 3 IT disciplines, right? We learned about the sub 3 IT disciplines, and what are they? Computing technology, communication technology, information management technology, right? What is information system? Again, they are asking, what is an information system? We have already learned about the information system, right? So information system is a formalized set of procedures designed to convert data from both internal and external sources into information suitable for decision making and planning activities of an information system, right? So what are the activities of the information system? Now you know what is an information system. An information system, it is formalized set of procedures. There are set of rules and regulations. Why they are designed? These procedures are designed to convert data from both the internal and the external sources into information suitable for decision making and planning. That is an information system, right? This information system, there are some activities of this IS. There are activities. What are the activities of the IS? Collect and preparation of data. It collects the data and prepare the data. To collect and transcription into information. They collect the data and they prepare the data into information. They change the data into information. They process the data into information. That is first IS activity. Second activity, processing data into information. Right, now it collects the data and prepare the data. Why they collect and prepare the data? To transcription into information, to transfer them into information. Then it processes the data into information. So these collected and prepared data, they are converting them into information. Dissemination of information. Dissemination mean, what is dissemination of information? The communication or distribution of information to those that will be using. Now for an example, Samir brings me some data, okay, and he tells me, teacher, I want to convert, I want information from these data. So what I do, I put them into the information system. So I am collecting the data. Why I am collecting the data? To prepare, I am collecting the data and preparing the data. For what? To convert them into information. So process them into information. After that, I disseminate this information. Disseminate this information mean, after obtaining the information, I am giving it, or I am distributing it, or I am communicating it to Samir. I am giving it to Samir, right? Then using and storing information for later use. You understand that, right? Decision making. So why I obtain this data? Why Samir took this data? To make decision, to make valuable decision. So decision making, building plans, acting on the information received and store to use as when necessary. Okay, whenever you want this data again, you can take them. So you store them for later use. Monitoring the system. Now I am monitoring the system. there is an information system, no? I monitor it. I monitor mean what? I look after it, or I monitor it, okay? Receiving the feedback to make sure that the system is working successfully. That is monitoring the system. So this is the information system. There are information technology. There are process is happening with this information system, and all these things are happening by the people do these things. So what are the differences between information technology and information system? That is the heading now. The differences between the information technology and information system. You know what is an information system. Now you know what is an information technology, and now I will be telling you what are the differences between the information technology and the information system, between the IT and the IS. IT is the study, design, implementation, okay, support or management of data within an information system. So information technology mean the study, design, implementation. It supports or management, implementation, support or management of data within an information system. Inside the information system there are data. So it studies these data, it implements, it designs these data and manages these data. Information system refers to an entire set of information, not only the technology but also the people and process as well. See here, information technology, okay, this one. Information technology is a part of information system. A part of information system. So information technology means the study, design, implementation. But what is an information system? An information system is the entire set of information. What is the entire set of information? Not only the information technology, but the process and the people. That is an information system. What is business process and re-engineering using IT? We call it as BPR. You are doing commerce now, you should know about BPR. Okay? In commerce, BPR is a must. Right. What is a BPR or business process re-engineering? Business process re-engineering is the act of recreating a core business process with the goal of improving product output, quality, or reducing costs. Business process re-engineering means what? It is an act. It is an act. You know what is an act, right? It is an act of recreating a core business process with the goal of improving product in output, quality, or reducing cost. Typically, it involves the analysis of company workflows, finding processes that are subpar or inefficient, and figuring out ways to get rid of them or change them. Re-engineering. It re-engineers. Doing it again. Checks again. So, it analyzes. BPR mean analyzes the company overflow and finding the processes that are insufficient, inefficient. Efficient mean correctly. Okay? Efficient means what? Correctly. Where is this read here? Get rid of them or change them. Get rid of them mean தவிர்க்கிறதுக்கு, அதிலிருந்து ஓரமாகிறதுக்கு தான் get rid ன்னு நாங்க சொல்றோம். So அந்த overflow, you know what is overflow, right? like it is going down. Okay, nashtam varanu naanga solra overflow. So workflow va paakradhukku, workflow company de workflow va paakra analyze pandra. It analyzes the company workflow, finding processes. There are a lot of processes happening in the company, right? So it finds the processes that are inefficient. ஒழுங்கா நடக்காத ப்ரொசஸை வந்து அவங்க தேடி எடுக்கிற and figuring out ways. அதுக்கு பிறகு அவங்க என்ன செய்யற, சில வழிமுறைகளை அவங்க தேடி எடுக்கிற, figuring out ways to get rid of them or change them. அதுல இருந்து தவிர்க்கிறதுக்கு, அதுல இருந்து ஓரமாகிறதுக்கு, அப்படி இல்லாட்டி அதை சேஞ்ச் பண்றதுக்கு, for the betterment, நல்ல விஷயமா அதை சேஞ்ச் பண்றதுக்கு அவங்க இதை அனலைஸ் பண்ற. So this is what happens in the business process re-engineering. Now understood what is a business process re-engineering? So each and every company there should be a business process re-engineering. This is a business process re-engineering method. Initiate the change, process diagnosis, process design, reconstruction, process monitoring, envision new process. So this is how it happens. Everything here is happening. They are initiating the changes, right? They analyze the company overflows and find the process that are inefficient, and then they change them for the better thing, right? Impact of IT and IS on finance. Now what are the impact of information technology and information system on finance? Now you know, when we take a company, okay, whatever the company, there are departments, right? Financial department, R&D department, IT department, right? There are many big departments in different kinds of companies, right? So now let's see what is the impact of IT and IS on finance. How it impacts on IT on finance things, right? The impact of IT and IS made a huge innovation within the financial world. And the new buzzword mean like these words, fintech. I think you have heard about fintech, right? So the new buzzword, fintech is becoming commonplace in the sector. This fintech is used the most in the financial sectors, right? The following financial services industry areas are impacted by IT in a great way. So what they do using this IT and IS? Now you know what is an IT and IS, no? IS is the information system, which includes the information technology, the process and the people. IT is a part of IS, right? So it analyzes things and does these things from the IS, right? So what is the impact in this IT and the IS in the financial? What it does in financial? What is the work of the IT and IS in the financial sector? So what is the impact of IT and IS on finance? Financial reporting. They are making financial reporting. Online banking. You know online banking. Reducing the human errors or fraudulent activities. Cheaper to run a business than ever before. Using this IT and IS, we can run our business in a cheaper way than before. Decreasing costs and increasing functionalities. Cost korayida, it decreases the cost and it increases the functionality. So this is the impact of IT and IS in finance sector. Understood? What is the impact of IT and IS on the other organizational sectors? There are many organizational sectors, no? So what are the impact on these organizational sectors? IT and IS plays a major role in the business world in this modern era. Nowadays, this information technology and information system plays a major role in the business world. Okay, many of the people who are working in the business world, they are using this IT and IS the most. Communication between employees, suppliers and customers. Using this IT and IS, the people who work in the business sectors, they communicate with the employees, suppliers and the customers. Like VoIP. Do you know what is VoIP? VoIP mean voice over internet protocol. Voice over internet protocol mean like using the Skype, Zoom also VoIP. Voice over internet protocol. We are using the internet to exchange the voice now here. So Skype, WhatsApp, Viber, okay, and Zoom. These are kinds of VoIP, voice over internet protocol. Now understood what is VoIP? So using this VoIP system, they are communicating with the employees, suppliers and the customers, sending emails, conducting online meetings like I am doing now, Zoom. I am conducting online meetings and etc. Right? Next one, inventory management system. Inventory management system, there are softwares to manage the inventory of the company, right? Like POS mean point of sale system. POS is an inventory management system. Understood? Data management system. We can manage the data. Management information system, MIS. What is management information system? Like track sales data, expenses and productivity level. The information can be used to track profitability over time, maximizing return on investment or ROI, and identify areas of improvement. So that is management information system. So these are the impact of IT and IS on other organizational sectors like communicating between employees, supplier and customers, inventory management system, data management system, management information system and customer relationship management. We should manage our relationship with the customers. If you have an organization, we should manage the relationship between the customers. So next one is competitive advantages of business process. What are the competitive advantages of business process? Using this business process, what is the competition? To improve service delivery to customers. So we can use this business process to improve the services to deliver the things to the customers. To improve organizations' responsiveness to new developments. We can improve our organization with new things. To change the basis of competition in industry. In the industry also, we can change the basic competition. To improve your organization's overall performance, right? You know, before they have used the manual system, right? This is not the manual system, no. This is the computerized system. Now we are using the computerized system. When using the manual system, it is not bit hard. Actually, it is hard. It is harder, right? So computing system is the easiest way to manage a organization nowadays. Understood? How ICT supports data analysis, decision making and use of ICT tools for analyzing data and information. Technology and the modern era made decision making very easy for organization, either small or huge multinational corporations, right? So, you know, because of this technology, it has made a huge difference in the modern era. So also it made a very easy way by using it. So in the organizations, when they use this technology, it is easy for them to make decisions. Okay, even it can be in a small organization or else a huge multinational corporation. Before, the technological use decision making was based on experience. Before, when they made decision, okay, before the technological use decision making. So before they use the technological use to make decision was based on experience. They should have experience to make decisions. But today, technology made decision makers have access to an enormous amount of data, making the process a lot easier, right? So there are a lot of amount of data. Using this data, the decision makers can process them very easily nowadays, not like before. Before they should have experience, but now using this technology, it is easy for the people to make decisions nowadays. To help in decision making process, following IS provide facilities at different management levels in an organization. So when you are taking an organization, as I told you, there are different management levels, right? We will learn about this managerial level in the next subjects also. So management levels in the organization, like process control system, transaction processing system, office automation system, management information system, decision support system, expert or executive support system. So each and every organization management level, okay, each and every management level has its own system, IS, information system. Information systems in society. How they use the information, the IS in society. Now we learned how they use in an organization. Now let's see how they use in the society. The impact of IT in the society will change the lifestyle of the world from 5 to 10 years from now. Okay, it won't be 5 to 10 years actually. It will be like 3 to 5 years. It will change because of this corona. Okay, so everybody will use this IT and the lifestyle will be very different from now. Okay, and it will make a huge impact on the society. Following are some key issues needs to be considered. So these are the key issues to be considered. Globalization. The role of information technology in globalization. The issues experienced by firms as they face a global economy. The birth of new jobs. That is also an issue. Okay, so as I told you, the IT will change the lifestyle of the world. Okay, so it is not much far, it is very near. It will change. IT will change the society. IT will change the lifestyle of the people. So new jobs will come. New jobs will come. Why new jobs come? Because of the use of IT. Okay, so mostly all the organizations will turn into IT. Okay, they will be adapted to the IT field. So they will use IT things, right? So new jobs will come. The digital divide. Digital divide also an issue. What is a digital divide? Digital divide mean, what is a digital divide? You know, now all the students can't come to the online classes, isn't it? What is the reason? Either they don't have smart devices, or they don't have stable internet connection, so they can't come to the class, isn't it? That is a digital divide. Digital divide mean economic and social equality due to the differences in access to, ability to, or use of information communication technology. There are a part of people who can't use this technology, and there are a part of people who can use this technology. That is the digital divide. See here, These people can use the technology, and these people still can't use the technology. That is the digital divide. So until the digital divide is there will be an issue of using this IT. Information system ethics means there are some information system ethics. Ethics mean like rules, okay? Ethical use of information system, both are like same. Intellectual property. Intellectual property mean when you are using something from the internet, it is a property of somebody. Okay, so illegally we can't use them. We should use them legally. Protection provided by copyright, patent, and trademark. You know them. Challenges of information technology towards individual privacy. Future trends in information system. So these are some key issues needed to be considered when the world will be changing to the old era, to the IT world. So these are some of the issues will be coming, right? Last heading, using and managing personal information. Personal information management systems help people to refine, reuse, manage, and organize the information that they have seen before. In the era of complex information and variety of data types, it is becoming clearer that people may need to use PIMS to organize and retrieve information to carry out their personal or professional tasks. So PIMS means Personal Information Management System. There should be a management system to manage the personal information also, right? So personal information management system help people to refine and reuse, manage and organize the information that they have seen before, right? So if you have an organization, as I told you, there are employees, there are customers. So all their information are personal, right? Or professional tasks. So we should manage them with a management system. So that's it in your first chapter. So that's it for today. I'll wind up the class. Until we will meet again at the next class. Thank you for joining the class, everyone, and have a nice day.